The truth about emotional attachment and why good women get trapped. Good women don't get trapped because they're weak. They get trapped because they're emotionally invested. When it comes to good women, they often enter a relationship believing what a man says, not because they're naive, but because their heart is open and their intentions are honest. They are ready to love, ready to build, and ready for a real relationship. Most women who stay in painful or confusing situations are not lacking intelligence, awareness, or self-respect. In fact, they usually see the red flags and feel that something isn't right. The difference is that by the time those signs become clear, an emotional bond has already formed. A good woman comes into a connection assuming truth, not strategy. She listens to his words and takes them at face value because that's how she operates. She doesn't lead with suspicion. She leads with trust. Emotional attachment forms when time is shared, stories are exchanged, and vulnerability is offered. Once a woman becomes emotionally invested, the relationship is no longer just about what's happening in the present. It becomes tied to hope, imagined futures, and the life she already sees forming. Good women have a special gift. When they care about someone, they don't just see who he is today, they see who he could be in their life. They picture the home, the family, the future, the growth. In their heart, they're already building something real. Because good women are empathetic, emotionally available, and capable of deep connection, they often bond quickly when they feel closeness and potential. These qualities are strengths, not flaws. But without clear boundaries, those same strengths can make it harder to let go. When a woman becomes emotionally invested, she usually isn't ignoring the truth. Instead, she starts protecting the bond. She explains away inconsistencies, questions her intuition, and gives more time than the situation deserves. Not because she doesn't see what's happening, but because she's already attached. This is why leaving feels so difficult. Walking away doesn't just mean accepting that the relationship isn't working. It also means grieving what was hoped for, the future she imagined, and the connection she believed she was building. Staying, while painful, can feel easier than facing that loss all at once. That reaction isn't weakness, it's human attachment. So when good women feel trapped, it isn't because they don't know better. It's because emotional investment creates attachment, and attachment makes letting go feel like losing something real. Good women are emotionally available because they believe in love. When a man says he wants a loving relationship, she believes him because she herself is ready to show up emotionally. She assumes alignment, not deception, because deception isn't how she moves. She believes words because words matter to her. Communication matters. Integrity matters. So when a man talks about commitment, growth, or a future, she hears possibility, not manipulation. She believes that if someone says they want something meaningful, they're also willing to do the work to sustain it. A good woman trusts because she expects consistency to follow communication. She expects actions to eventually match intentions. Her trust is an offering, not a weakness. The challenge is that some men accept the trust without earning it. They speak the language of love without being prepared to live it. And because her heart is already open, emotional attachment can begin before proof is fully established. This is how good women become emotionally invested early. Not because they ignore red flags, but because they assume honesty. They believe sincerity in words means sincerity in actions. Good women don't enter relationships guarded or calculating. They enter with hope, clarity, and readiness. And while that openness is beautiful, it needs boundaries to protect it. The work for good women isn't to close their hearts or stop believing in love. It's to allow trust to be earned through consistency, not just expressed through words. When that balance is learned, good women can remain loving without becoming vulnerable to confusion or emotional harm. This is Mama, your AI host. The message you're hearing is not AI generated. It's based on the real ideas, beliefs, and experiences of a mature woman. The bad mama is for entertainment only. Do not follow her. She has issues. The me with issues convinces herself, I understand how this happened. He didn't tell me because he didn't want to lose me. What we shared was still real. That makes me feel better about staying. If I believe he loved me so much that he had to lie, then I tell myself it's acceptable. I focus on how connected I felt, how deep the conversations were, how seen I felt in moments I hadn't felt seen in a long time. He made me feel special, and I hadn't felt that in a while. I focus on the emotional bond instead of the betrayal. I tell myself the lie doesn't erase the feelings. I tell others it's complicated, not dishonest. I feel it's too late. My heart is already involved. I didn't know at first, so it's not my fault. I've already invested too much to just walk away. This is how I convince myself to stay. I try to make the lie smaller because the attachment feels big. I negotiate with reality. I explain away the truth. I question my own intuition instead of the situation. I stay emotionally available even after the truth is revealed, because detaching feels more painful than staying. When I'm in love, I find excuses to stay because living without him feels unbearable. The bad mama isn't stupid. She's attached, and attachment makes her want comfort instead of clarity. The me who is working on herself pauses. I take a breath. I tell the truth without softening it. I became emotionally invested without having all the information. I bonded to something that wasn't real. I don't minimize the lie just because feelings exist. I understand that emotions formed under false pretenses. Honor and self-respect matter to me. I remind him that I didn't consent to this situation, that I wasn't given the choice to decide with clarity, that emotional investment built on dishonesty isn't love, it's misdirection. I understand something important. I can acknowledge the feelings without staying attached to them. I have no problem leaving because those feelings were built on lies. Just because it felt real doesn't mean it was healthy. Just because I'm invested doesn't mean I have to stay. Just because my heart is involved means I respect myself and his wife by leaving. I close emotional access, not out of anger, but out of growth. I choose distance over confusion, clarity over comfort, self-respect over emotional attachment. The bad mama protects the bond. The good mama protects herself and the wife. The bad mama asks, how do I make this hurt less? The good mama asks, how do I make sure this never happens again? One wants relief. The other wants healing. Good women don't get trapped because they're weak. They get trapped because they trusted with an open heart. Being emotionally invested after a lie doesn't make you foolish. It makes you human. The work isn't to harden your heart. It's to stop giving emotional access to situations that began without honesty. Growth is learning that you can love deeply and still walk away when the truth arrives too late. If this spoke to you, subscribe for healing that doesn't shame you. Follow for clarity, growth, and self-respect. Save this for the moment you need strength over attachment. Share it with a woman who's learning to choose herself. Comment, healing, if you're becoming the version of you that protects her heart.